Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zac's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Zac Philips, who is advisor to Oak Securities. Hi today, Zac.
Hi, how are you?
Very good to speak to you for the first time here. The topic of conversation today is Helix Exploration, which has obviously been one of the more successful IPOs of the recent past. I think it listed in April at 10 pence, and now we're more than double that. Can you tell us the lay of the land with Helix at the moment?
Well, of course, they've got two projects with Rudyard really being the most recent addition, an appraisal development opportunity also based in the helium sector in Montana. Things are moving ahead quite quickly. From what I understand is that the preliminary construction works that are necessary for drilling an appraisal well in both structures has been initiated and is progressing nicely.
So for people who are not already following the stock, can be listed in April, and it's a relatively quick process to drilling, and obviously drilling at this point will be the big reveal as far as the company is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you've got two different types of risk in the portfolio. In the Ingomar Dome prospect, you've got a potentially transformational exploration program. And in the Rudyard appraisal and development opportunity, you've got a helium discovery that needs well optimization and well designed tests being completed, so they can optimize a development program there.
I presume having the two projects, and obviously the latest one was relatively recently acquired, that does eliminate some of the risk. It's not going to be a case that, everybody's getting very excited and then all of a sudden there's nothing in the ground.
That's right. I mean, the Rudyard project is a combination of appraisal and development and exploration in a deeper horizon. But as you quite rightly say, you've already proven helium is present. It's now about optimizing the development program so that you get it out economically. And that's a significantly reduced risk to commercialization.
Is there any particular figure that that the company is sort of looking for? If it's sort of like 5%, 10%, is there a sort of goal? Is there a university accepted level which would be good or not good?
Well, not really, because your biggest enemy when you've made a discovery is being able to recover it quick enough to make a commercial cash flow from it. You've got two advantages that work in your favor in the United States specifically. One is that you've got a very short timetable to development because you've got a lot of infrastructure that's both pre-existing, and you've got a deep and broad market that is highly liquid for things like drilling supplies, completion, rigs, so on and so forth. And you've also got a tremendous technology base in the US that can literally get blood out of a stone. You've got the whole fracking boom that's really turned what was previously uneconomic shales into hugely economic crude oil fields. And when we're talking about helium, of course, you can't escape the fact that you've got two orders of magnitude difference in the per unit pricing. The private sale price for helium is often in excess of $1,000 per 1,000 cubic feet. So, even relatively small volumes can become exceptionally commercial very quickly.
So from that point of view, it's almost heads people win, tails people win, in that there's a very wide span of potential discovery wins.
Exactly. I wouldn't ever say heads you win, tails you win, but I think you're exactly right in what you're saying, is that there is such a wide range of what constitutes a commercial discovery and will result in an economic development, that you would think that the chances of failure are low. They're never zero, but they're very low.
What's been noticeable is how much has been made of Bo Sears' past track record, his experience in this area. Maybe you can just touch on that, just to maybe give people that extra bit of confidence in Helix.
Well, I think it's always about marrying the technical, which is essential for getting it out of the ground so that it can be won and sold. But it needs to be sold and commercialized. And I think Bo and the team that's been assembled at Helix really give everybody the best opportunity for being able to do that. It's not his first rodeo. It's certainly not the first time that any of the team have been connected with helium. So on the basis that they know the ropes, that they've cut their teeth previously, that the skill base and the experience that exists within Helix is another factor, certainly in my opinion, another factor that brings the prospect of commerciality that much closer than would otherwise be, and should actually give investors the comfort that, given any set of circumstances, this management team are probably more likely than most to be able to make a commercial enterprise out of it.
I'm just finishing off with a piece of string question, which I'm sure you'll be delighted with. Currently, the market cap currently around 30 million, started off, I suppose, under 10 million. Is there any idea, or do you have any idea in your mind what the potential could be here?
Well, I think our 93p price target is probably, I mean, that's not particularly demanding, I don't think, especially given the pace at which the management team are moving. Now, obviously, to achieve that, there needs to be some drilling success. But I think that the helium market currently is in a state of flux, because you've had the US helium reserve, the strategic reserve, is now privately owned and run. And we're in sort of a new world, so to speak, in understanding what that means for the market. But generally, in my experience, when you get a private enterprise running a strategic reserve on behalf of the government, not only do the government see a better return on their investment, but the market also tends to become less sluggish in responding to pricing demand. And given that we're seeing regularly prices in excess of $1,100, $1,200 for immediate delivery, I think that we could see Helix actually being at the right place at the right time.
Zac Philips, advisor to Oak Securities. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.